Thank you so much for joining us on the very first episode of Get It Right. My name is Dingindaba Jonah. We are coming up on the show. On every episode of Get It Right, we bring the big brains, or so we hope that these are going to be the big brains of Zambia, because we ask some of the most unexpected and most genius questions through general knowledge. So there's over 300 general knowledge questions according to research that people have not answered, others have gotten right, and well, on this show we only give you 10 of those. So these 10 questions are worth something. Every single person that comes on this show will get themselves 5,000 kwacha only in the first minute of the show, because for the rest of the show they have to build on to that money. 5,000 kwacha is how much they get, the maximum amount of money that they get, but each one of the 10 questions is worth 500 kwacha. And every wrong answer reduces your 5,000 kwacha by 500 kwacha. I hope that's right. And if you would like to be a part of the show, you can get in touch with us through our Twitter account at Diamond TV Zambia, but you can also send us a WhatsApp message on this number. Further than that, you can also get in touch with us through our Facebook account, Diamond TV Zambia. You can also follow us on Instagram at Diamond TV Social. What are you waiting for? Go ahead. Or maybe you want to see just how hard these questions are. Why don't we welcome and get to know a little bit more about our very first contender on the show today. Welcome, Jabulani. So that's a little bit about our guest today on Get It Right, Jabulani, who I'm going to call Jabu. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Jonah.
Feeling confident?
I am. I hope so.
You should feel confident because you know quite a bit about quizzes. You run the Media Hub quiz. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the Media Hub quiz is basically a Twitter space that we host every Sunday at 9 p.m. And it is, basically general knowledge, different categories as well. We have so many members that come up and take part in the quiz. It's quite tricky. It's got a mix of both easy questions and hard questions as well. And it's just a case of people trying to test themselves based on their knowledge. And every time, I always like to tell them, if you know it, then it's great. If you get it wrong, then you've learned something. It's always only simple if you know it. But
this time around, you're the one answering the question. So, Jabu, I'm going to run you through the rules of Get It Right. Very simple. Welcome to the show, and by virtue of you being here, you've got 5,000 kwacha. Mm-hmm. For now, though, because it might get less by the end of the show, you've got 10 questions that I'm going to ask you. Every single question is worth 500 kwacha. We start with 5,000 kwacha in the bank, but if you get an answer wrong, it's 500 kwacha less. Let's get the first question for Jabu today. Well, it seems it's music. What band was Harry Styles in before his solo career? Is it Years and Years? That's what is on A. Or is it B, from Westlife? Or is it C, One Direction? Is it D, Maroon 5? Interesting. What band was Harry Styles in before his solo career? What's your answer?
I actually know all four of those groups, but I'm going to go with One Direction.
One Direction. One Direction. Yeah, well, that's the correct answer. You still have 5,000 kwacha in the bank. Congratulations. I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the first time One Direction came about, they were a boy band, and I'm not quite sure which. No? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure which show. I don't remember which show they participated in, but I remember they came out third, and that was where they shot to fame.
What's going to be the next question? Who sang the song "You're Beautiful"? Who sang the song "You're Beautiful"? Is it David Guetta? That's first option. Is it B, James Blunt? And is it C, Luther Vandross? I guess that's what that's supposed to be. Is it D, Black Coffee? Which one of these is the right answer?
I actually knew this before the answer came up, so before the options came up, so I'm gonna go with B, James Blunt.
That's James Blunt. I think that's a very easy one. I think even everybody home definitely got this one right. We're going to move on to the next question. We get into our third question. You still have 5,000 kwacha, by the way. In which country was the wheelbarrow invented? I see that facial expression is not exactly one you would have gone for, but yeah, having a bit of doubt on this one. Do you think you know the answer?
This is tricky.
This is tricky. Well, you've got a multiple choice. Is it A, China? Is it B, in which country was the wheelbarrow invented? Was it in Australia? Was the wheelbarrow invented in Vietnam? Or was it in D, Egypt?
Well, this is a little bit tricky. Developmental wise, I'd be leaning towards China. But
it's the wheelbarrow. You've got to keep in mind that it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I would be leaning towards China because they are, you know, the masters of inventions. But because of the whole pyramid building and even the time, like if, you know, when you look at biblical times, this is a guess. This is a guess. I'm going to go Egypt.
You're going to go Egypt.
Yes.
In which country was the wheelbarrow invented? The correct answer is China. You get 500 kwacha less. Ooh. You now have 4,500 kwacha in the bank. China, definitely the wheelbarrow. I mean, I liked your logic with Egypt, but I also thought you were going to think about how China has a lot of people trying to find an easier way, especially with their farming and all of that.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
that was disappointing.
You've lost 500 kwacha there, but not bad, right?
Not 500 kwacha. Yeah, not bad, but I think my biggest enemy there was myself. It was the self-doubt, because I had China as my first option, and then I went Egypt.
You are watching Get It Right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we continue asking questions to our guest on the show tonight, Jabu. He's gotten himself 2 questions right and 1 wrong. Unfortunately, not very good news because he had 5,000 kwacha when we started. Now, he's got 4,500 kwacha in the bank. My guest tonight on Get It Right is Jabu, who's got himself 4,500 kwacha so far. It was 5,000 when we started the show. Unfortunately, he got 1 answer wrong out of the 3 that we've asked him so far, and that brings him to 4,500 kwacha. He still has 7 questions to answer, and if he gets all these 7 questions right, then he walks away with 4,500 kwacha. But are you ready for the next questions?
Yes, I am.
Let's get to question number 4. What is the capital of Finland? Is it Tampere? I believe that's the correct pronunciation. Is it Turku? What is the capital of Finland? Helsinki or D, Oulu?
Okay, I'm guessing all of them are towns in Finland, but I'm gonna go with the common one, which is the actual capital, and that's Helsinki. I know that.
That was very easy. That's the correct answer, Helsinki. All these are indeed towns in Finland. We go on to the next question. Let's get into the next question, which should be our 5th question. Which Disney princess called Gus and Jack friends? Which Disney princess called Gus and Jack friends? Is it Elsa that called Gus and Jack friends? Is it Bella? Is it Moana? Or is it D, Cinderella? Gus.
Elsa is Frozen, and I've seen Frozen both 1 and 2, but I don't recall any Gus and Jack. Bella is from Beauty and the Beast. And there was a Gustavo. Cinderella, no.
What is your answer?
I'm going to go with Bella, simply because of Gus, aka Gustavo from Beauty and the Beast. That's the only clue.
Which Disney princess called Gus and Jack friends? The correct answer to this question is Cinderella.
Oh, really?
Yes, so Gus and Jack were mice.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And they helped her getting the key when her evil stepmother locked her in the room. So
Yeah.
go to the key for her to get out and go and try the glass shoe that she had forgotten at the what is that?
The
palace.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it's Cinderella. The one that you cancelled out because she never had friends. How could you forget the animals? She was very good with those. Those were the only friends she had.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part. I've only seen Cinderella once, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's where I crossed it out immediately.
Let's move on. We're gonna do one more question before we take another break. So we quickly take a look at what the next question is, and I hope you're gonna get this right. Well, grab your mittens on because this is the hot one. How many permanent teeth does a dog have? How many permanent teeth does a dog have? It's getting a bit tougher now, isn't it? Yeah, well, it's because we're trying to make it easier for you by giving you the multiple choice question. So is it A, 32? That might be a familiar number, but is it how many permanent teeth the dog has? Is it 42? Is it 28? Or is it 38?
Oof. Firstly, when it came to permanent teeth, I didn't realize that it could be possible that dogs and humans have the same number, because humans have 32 teeth.
That's
32
true.
permanent teeth. Oof. I'm trying to count dog teeth in my I'm trying to remember dogs. Do you know what? Let's go 28. It's a pure guess, but let's go
Your
28.
guess. Yeah. 28. How many permanent teeth does a dog have? 28 is the wrong answer. Unfortunately, permanent teeth of a dog are 42. 28 are the milk teeth of a dog, actually. So you were close to right, except that they're not the permanent teeth of a dog. The 28 are the milk teeth.
Oh.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we continue with Get It Right. We've lost 1,500 kwacha with Jabu over here, but he's got a couple more questions for him to redeem himself. He's not walking away with nothing, but he's definitely not walking away with 5,000 kwacha today, because the bank only has 3,500 kwacha so far. This is the first time you're watching this show because it's the first time it's airing. Welcome. If you're just joining us to Get It Right, on this show, we bring different big minds that know quite a bit about stuff around the world, and they answer questions. They have 10 questions to attempt, and if they get all 10 right, they walk away with 5,000 kwacha. They come on the show and 5,000 kwacha is put in the bank. It keeps decreasing with how many answers they get wrong. On today's episode, our guest is Jabulani, who I'm calling Jabu, on the show today, and he's gotten 3 answers wrong, which makes him at 3,500 kwacha, which is 1,500 kwacha less than he started with. And before the break, we were talking a little bit about himself and how he can DJ, but I also want to find out something about you that's very interesting and probably the complete opposite of what I am, because I cannot live with pets. But you can't live without.
No, I can't live without it. It's sort of a family thing. Everybody's a huge fan of pets. My dad as well, even though he doesn't really show it. But they've basically lived with cats, cats and dogs at the same time. My mom once had a pet chicken, and I think that was in like 2015 or something. We used to call him Gray, and then like when it was just time for him, we couldn't even kill him. We had to give him to my uncle because she was like, I'm not gonna.
I can imagine. You know what? That's very interesting. You see, you remember there was a time, I don't know if you remember this, there was a time, just the President KK's very last birthday, and Then Lusaka Mayor Mausampa took a chicken for him, and everybody was, like, does he take a chicken to a vegetarian? But, people keep chickens as pets.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess here we have an example. But are you ready for us to move on?
Yes, I am.
I'm ready too. So let's move on to our next question on the show today. And we try to find out if our guest on the show can get this one right and maintain his bank balance or get it wrong. Which country in the world is believed to have the most miles of motorway? Which country in the world is believed to have the most miles in motorway? Your reaction so far doesn't seem very good. I don't know.
Not because I don't know, but because this is a tricky one.
Is it South Africa? Is it China? Or is it Japan? Is it finally D, Germany? Which country in the world is believed to have the most miles of motorway? South Africa, China, Japan, or Germany?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with China simply because of those 4 countries, it's the largest by land area. So I'm gonna go China.
Not anything about the wide roads that Germany has. I mean, you've heard about those.
Yes, I have, and because of course Germany, Japan are home to the biggest brands of motor cars, but I think I'll stick with my gut and go with China.
You're gonna stick with your gut to go with China. Which country in the world is believed to have the most miles of motorway? Is it China? Yes, it is. You got that right. It is China. They've got over 80,000 miles of motorway, and it's about 130,000 kilometers of motorway.
Oof.
Good guess.
Yeah. that was a sticky one.
It was. It's pretty tricky, but it was a good guess. Let's move on to the next. We try and see if you can get the next question right in our quiz today. Get it right. Are you feeling confident so far?
Yes, I am.
This is back to music, and I can see you're kind of like, okay, this is kind of easy. What is rapper P. Diddy's real name? What is rapper P. Diddy's real name? You know his real name?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is it A, we're going to do it for the sake of doing it, is it A, Sean Combs? Or is it B, Sean Carter? Is it C, Sean Corey? Is it D, Sean Combs?
Okay, yeah, so the correct answer is A, Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. We're not even going to waste time on that. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, very famous rapper, and I think a lot of people that are fans of hip-hop do know who this is. But you, on the other hand, loved going out, but you had to go out with your ID in the age of 25. Tell us about that.
Well, it's because of my face. First off, even my own small goatee didn't really fully grow until I was about 24, somewhere there. So every time, like, my baby face would give me away, because I'm turning 29 now, and still in some places I have to take off my mask to be looked at before I actually yes. And then they're like, oh, this person can go in. But then, yeah, until I was about 25, even places that were like, oh no, this is above 21, we need to see your ID, and I still had to go with it just for me to, grab a drink.
Which is the complete opposite. I mean, like, because I would be allowed at the age of like 19, and I didn't even need an ID because I don't know, what they call it, Benjamin Button.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be answering the last 2 questions. You still have 3,500 kwacha, and well, we'll be seeing exactly whether or not you'll be able to answer the rest of the questions. We're going to take a break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are now in the final round of Get It Right, and Jawo, our guest today, has answered a good number of questions so far. He's gotten 3 wrong, but these final 2 mean so much, because if he gets both wrong, then he walks away with 2,500 kwacha. If he gets both right, then he walks away with 3,500 kwacha. Jawo, are you ready for us to wrap it up?
Yes, I am. Let's do it.
Let's quickly take a look at our 9th question. Question number 9. Question number 9 is, which British actor will play Batman in the upcoming reboot of Batman? You know this?
I think I do.
And you do?
Yeah.
I guess we nudge you a little bit with some of the multiple choice answers, right? So, which British actor will play Batman in the upcoming reboot of Batman? Is it Keanu Reeves? Or is it B, Robert Pattinson? Is it C, Richard Harris? Is it D, Rob Dylan?
Okay, so I know it's definitely not Keanu Reeves because he's Canadian. So I don't know who Richard Harris and Rob Delaney are, but I was just pulling your leg. I actually know who it is. It's going to be Robert Pattinson. I read about it.
I think I know that for a fact. So that's the correct answer. The British actor that will play Batman in the upcoming reboot of Batman is Robert Pattinson. We move on to the next, and we take a look at our final question. This is the moment of truth. So far, you've gotten yourself 3,500 kwacha. Are you walking away with all of it? A screwdriver cocktail is orange juice, ice, and which spirit? Do you take cocktails?
I don't, but I know what a screwdriver cocktail is, but I can't remember.
Screwdriver cocktail is orange juice, ice, and which spirit? Is it gin? Is it rum? Is it whiskey? Or is it D, vodka?
I was hoping vodka wouldn't come up because I was leaning more towards rum. I'm trying to remember the color of a screwdriver cocktail.
Well, orange, ice, and a spirit. So it's most likely to be orange.
Yeah, it is most likely going to be orange, but I was hoping, when rum came up, I was thinking, yeah, it's definitely rum, and then vodka came up.
So you're saying it's not,
It's not gin. It's not gin. I'm trying to remember the color. It's orange. It's usually orange. Like then, I'm trying to remember down there whether it's brown or colorless. Do you know what? Let's go.
Which one is your final?
Let's go vodka.
You go vodka.
Yes.
A screwdriver cocktail is orange juice, ice, and vodka. You got it right. That is the correct answer. You've gotten yourself 7 questions right. How do you think you fared?
To be honest, it should have been 8. When I talked myself out of that Egypt answer when it came to the invention of the wheelbarrow. I should have gone with my gut and gone with China, the same way I went with it when it came to the motorway and as well as with this vodka one. So yeah, I mean 7 is a good amount of questions to answer, but I honestly should have gotten 8.
Do you think the quiz gods and the members on the Twitter space of the Media Hub quiz are happy with the performance today?
I'm probably gonna get trolled.
Probably gonna get trolled.
I'm probably gonna get trolled.
But I think you did pretty well.
Yeah, thank you.
3,500 kwacha is how much our contender today is walking away with. That's Jawulani joining us today on the very first episode of Get It Right. Do you want to be here? If you want to be here, then join us on the next episode of Get It Right by getting in touch with us on the details that'll be available with you shortly, and participate. Stand a chance of walking away with 5 grand. My name is Dingindaba Jonah Bioya. Will you be the next to get it right?